Okay, obviously, great opportunity at our place, division opponent, second time around seeing this team, and like we've talked about all week, we have to go play our best football, have to do all those things in a game as an offense, defense, special teams that give you a chance. So I've worked very hard this week and put in the work, and then Sunday we get to go do it in front of our fans, and that's the exciting part for us. So with that, I'll take any questions. Yeah, that was today, so I don't really have an update just yet. Yeah, just felt something early in practice, so did not finish. I do not believe we'll put him on IR. Yes.
What have you seen?
Yeah, it's played some meaningful snaps for us. We trust a lot of these young players, and certainly would put him in that category. Dom is a guy that goes out, knows what to do, plays to his strengths, his physicality, his length.
Tyson, how have you seen him? Obviously, but if Denzel can't play, Tyson becomes the most experienced guy back there. Just how have you seen him kind of settle in over the last few weeks since he's been?
Yeah, I've been very, very impressed with Tyson, both on and off the field, just how he goes about his business, how he works, how he fits in with his football team off the field. And then on the field, I just think he's played so physical, plays the run game, has made plays in the back end with the ball in the air. So I've been very impressed with Tyson.
Malik can't play. Mike, I think we played 3 defensive snaps last game. Are you guys gonna up his workload?
Yeah, he's certainly doing better and better every single week, every day. So he's ready for a bigger workload for sure.
Can you just talk about how well he has been playing for you guys this season?
Yeah, Malik's obviously, I think, playing at an extremely high level. Big part of our success up front, both in the run game and in the pass game. Mary Kay, just how disruptive he can be, defeating blocks one-on-one. I think he runs games really, really well with all of our guys. So he's been an extremely productive player for us.
He can go. How much more does that put? Does that put more on his plate?
Well, I'm not ruling Malik out just yet. So hopefully, yes. But in that scenario, we trust our guys to step up if they get a bigger share of reps and those type of things. But Mason similarly has done a very good job in a bunch of different areas, and I think it's probably no surprise that he's got a guy like Malik that he can watch work at his craft every single day.
Following up on that with Mason, obviously a lot of people just look at the raw stats, specifically sacks when they look at defensive linemen. What have you seen out of him, maybe beyond those numbers that show the progress he's making
Yeah, I don't know that anybody is only looking at sacks. If they are, they're not looking at the whole picture when it comes to defensive line play. I know around the league the importance is placed on pressures and is placed on their ability to affect the quarterback, and obviously when they result in sacks, that's ideal. But the ability to affect the quarterback is the most important thing that a defensive lineman can do.
Just over the last 3 games, it really seems like the Ravens defense has just come alive, and the numbers are just off the charts. So just what kind of challenges are they presenting with the way they're playing?
Yeah, they're playing at a high level. Mary Kay, they've played really well, like you mentioned, but versus some tough opponents, some good offenses. They've played the run and the pass well. Good players throughout all 3 levels of the defense. I think they're doing a nice job.
Zach talked about placing emphasis on batting balls recently, and I think they had
5 in the last game.
Total pass defense. Just how do you combat that as an offensive, whether you're dealing with the offensive line, how do you combat that?
Well, I think philosophically there's different beliefs in how you rush the passer. Ask Coach Schwartz about, if you want them batting a bunch of balls or you want them rushing the passer. So there's a give and take. We have Shelby, obviously, who's a master at it. So there's a way to rush the passer and have that innate sense of when to get your hand up to match the quarterback's hand. So been around a lot of guys that do it really well. Certainly they have a group that's very aware, both at the defensive line level and at linebacker and safety level, ball aware, really good ball skills throughout the defense.
it's a one-score game, late third quarter, early fourth quarter, and unfortunately just kind of unravels for you down the stretch. First Baltimore game is a prime example of that.
Yep.
What's the teaching lesson there to your team, and just how do you get these games across the finish line so they don't fall apart?
Yeah, I mean, it's a 60-minute football game, so you have to have the mentality that you have to play your best both early and late. You're right, in the last game, we did not play well in any facet, especially late, and that's a huge point of emphasis, is playing as a team, and our offense and our defense and our special teams feeding off of each other and playing complementary ball. It gives you a chance in those games.
We were talking to Deuce about Crenshaw and the patience that he's shown. Is that something you guys really identified before when he was coming out in the draft, and how have you seen it show up so far?
Yeah, I think patience for a runner is so important, but I think it's also a bit dependent on scheme. There's certain schemes that are slower developing, quote unquote, where you have to let the blocking scheme develop. There's certain schemes where you're really on the move and you have a read in the zone game, if you will. So I think it's the ability for runners to have the patience when needed, have the burst when needed, burst through the hole and not to the hole type of idea in a lot of the zone running game, and then just being true to your read in some of the other gap scheme runs.
Lamar is suffering from a little bit of a knee injury this week. Does that change anything in your game plan or strategy or anything?
No, obviously a great player, Mary Kay, that we understand all the different ways that he can make life hard on a defense, both from the pocket making throws and out of the pocket making throws.
Tommy was talking about that 4th and 1 yesterday. He told us he wished he would have run the ball. When you guys are going back through that stuff, is it hard to balance sometimes, like, hey, this is a good call that didn't work, versus we should have called something different here?
Yes. I mean, it's the classic process over results. Sometimes you have a call that maybe wasn't a very good call and it works, and then everybody says, hey, great call, and sometimes a player goes and makes a great play, and trying to separate what your process was from the results. So the defense is going to win reps on given plays. It's just it's how it works. Now you hope on that rep that it turns into, sometimes it's 1st and 10 and you were looking to get this coverage, you didn't get that. Well, quarterback had to get out of the pocket through an incompletion, and it's 2nd and 10. And that's not the ideal. That's not what we wanted, but you got to tip your cap and say, okay, defense made a good call there. So there's so many times throughout that game and throughout every game and throughout every play call that you're just trying to think about the players and less so about the plays, and then also think about your process that got you to those plays and got you to putting the game plan together.
That you guys made some tweaks to like the coverage teams during the game, but did you do anything else this week to try to show up, especially?
Yeah, we've looked at everything, Mary Kay. That's certainly a focus for us, is making sure we're putting guys in the right position. So certainly potential to move some guys around.
2 weeks post the bye, has anything changed with Shedeur's practice reps or his routine at all?
No, he's doing a really nice job, including just now coming off the field with the red zone drill that we did. So continues to work very hard, doing a nice job in meetings, doing a good job in the field.
Alluding to the red zone drill, is it like the post practice?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And I guess, have you always done that in years past?
No.
Okay, so is that kind of unique to a team
Yeah.
that has like 14 rookies or?
For sure, yeah. I mean, going back to the spring, we've done a lot of things that we really hadn't done before, because you have so many rookies, you have 2 rookie quarterbacks, you're trying to maximize every minute you have out there. So certainly throughout this season, we've tried to be extremely intentional about development of our players. We've done individual periods on Mondays and Saturdays, which we haven't done before, for players that didn't play the game, just trying to add up all those individual periods, all those minutes of development with their coaches. I think it's just important with young players, and so that you're not just assuming that they're getting better by sitting in the meeting room. You want to give them physical reps as well.
For you, when you're not calling the plays, is the actual practice different?
No, I would not say practice is much different. Over the years, there's been practices where I don't radio the plays into the quarterback, so that's nothing different.
Sean is good inside, obviously, finding those little seams, and just as good in space. How unique is that for a young player to have that kind of balance?
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty unique. I think a lot of runners, Tom, over the years have certain schemes that they really like and want to get back to. I think of Adrian Peterson when I think about some of the things that Adrian, like give me this again, give me this again. And runners like to see the same scheme, and that helps them as the game goes on. I think Q definitely has run schemes that he likes a lot, but I don't think there's limitations in any way to the type of scheme that you run with him. So to your point, whether it's a inside zone or a wide zone or a gap scheme or a toss scheme, I think he's has the ability to run all of those, and as a young player, I think is open to running all of those. But as he gets more reps and we get more reps around him, you certainly find the run schemes that he really wants to lean into, and Tommy and the staff have done a nice job already of identifying those.
A major evolution, Kevin, in the running game in your time in the league, where it used to be they want guys to smash it up into the hole, and now you like with Q, you give them the option of kind of like reading it and then blasting.
Yeah, I think the game has changed in so many ways, and I think the run schemes have evolved. I think so much of the motion in the run game has changed up how defenses are fitting runs. Certainly the personnel groups have changed. There were years where you get really big and bring everybody in. There were years where you'd spread everybody out. I think that's probably more true now, spreading people out, than it was previously. But even having said that, there's a lot of teams that believe in bringing their receivers in tight to block all the safeties that you see down, and then you watch some teams that stay in a 2-by-2 and don't move and don't motion anybody and have success that way. So I think the run game evolution has been similar to the evolution of all offensive football, in that you're trying to just stay one step ahead of the defense, which is hard to do because there's some really good defensive coaches out there. So you'll make an adjustment to how you've run a play over the years, and then we'll make an adjustment to take that away, and you're moving on to the next scheme. So it's just a constant battle to try to stay ahead of them.
Updates on the injuries for Winston Reed and DeAndre Carter, and whether like they kind of factor into potentially.
I don't have an update, no.
And tradition.
Hey, well, there we have it, y'all. Coach Kevin Stefanski actually had some positive comments about ShedeurSanders today, this Friday before the game against Cleveland Browns. First time we heard Kevin Stefanski speak positively about ShedeurSanders. He even brought up how he did good in the end zone drills prior to the practice ending. He gave information how he gets extra reps on Mondays and Saturdays with the team, working on plays. If you have seen any of the highlights on any social media, I didn't play the small clips of ShedeurSanders that came out this week. He has been throwing the ball to Njoku, the tight end, to Jerry Jeudy. Also, prior to the main play of the practice going on with them warming up. So it's really difficult being a Sanders family supporter, a ShedeurSanders supporter, following the Cleveland Browns, because we just don't know what to believe. There's so many narratives that come out. There's so many things that get exposed. Even Tony Rizzo on ESPN Cleveland this Friday morning on the Tony Rizzo Show on YouTube, and even on ESPN Cleveland, the Really Big Show, again with Tony Rizzo, he said he heard some things, because he said yesterday on Thursday how he was going to be doing some dig deep investigation, and the things that he heard wasn't good. So he was saying the things that he heard, it made him not happy. But then we just had Kevin Stefanski come on Today Live on his Friday press conference prior to the game and speak very positively of ShedeurSanders. Not only how he's getting reps that we are not aware of, and how he's looking good in the end zone drills, and how his development is coming along. Uh, don't really know, like I said, what to believe. Uh, don't really know. Um, Wondering to see if anything been pushed down in management, for him to be more detailed on his comments about ShedeurSanders instead of just not speaking his name, not ignoring the question. He was very detailed in his response today. Hopefully that trends in a positive direction. Don't wish on anybody to get hurt. I do not see the Cleveland Browns beating the Baltimore Ravens. If you all don't know, I'm born and raised from Pittsburgh. I reside here in Atlanta now. I'm a big time Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Uh, Although I don't want to see the Ravens win, if the Browns play bad and Dylan Gabriel keeps doing what he do, we'll probably see there could be a strong possibility that the unimaginable happens and maybe Shedeur gets in the game. What's even more shocking is that we haven't heard any NFL team come out and say this that's faced the Browns this year, is that the defensive coordinator, and I'm gonna go back and post that on a short video feed for the Baltimore Ravens, have came out and said during his press conference that he's not only preparing for Dylan Gabriel, but they are also preparing if ShedeurSanders get in the game. Now that is hot breaking news off the press. We never heard no other NFL team say not only are they preparing for the Browns, Dylan Gabriel, but they are preparing for ShedeurSanders in the event he comes in the game. Do they know something that we don't know? After all, they're 2-7. Any team can win on any given Sunday, and we'll see. But the positive out of this Friday interview prior to the Ravens game is that we heard Kevin Stefanski speak highly of ShedeurSanders in a positive way. And we'll have to see how it goes. We'll have to see how it goes. So whenever you all watch the channel, the ask is that please help the channel grow. Hit that thumbs up button. The reason why any content creator asks for the thumbs up button, it gets hit. 1, is free. 2, it pushes the channel out for more people to view it and gets it out the video feed out the basement. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. On a new path to hit 4,000 subscribers, going to be doing a lot more live content. Me having special guests doing host shows with me live. I will be doing a live video feed at Sports Cafe tomorrow during the college game days. Definitely during the Georgia Bulldogs and Texas game. Appreciate you saying you're going to tap in. You're going to be watching to see if ShedeurSanders getting in. I will definitely be watching to see if ShedeurSanders getting in. I do a live game reaction at Sports Cafe here in Atlanta, Georgia. So I will be down there for that late 4 o'clock game. My Pittsburgh Steelers play the Cincinnati Bengals that game. So I'll be there early watching that game, and I'll be watching the Browns game afterwards in Atlanta, live game reaction, Sports Cafe. Tap in if you feel free. The crowd should be pretty pumped up in there because the Atlanta Falcons are playing. There'll be some big time games this Sunday. Looking forward to having a good time. So I'll be doing live game reactions for the college game tomorrow. Alabama game and the Georgia Bulldog and Texas Longhorn game. So I plan on going back on live sometime this evening. I got this video feed that I've been working on called the ShedeurSanders Chronicles. I'll be playing some video feeds of all the discontent, all the dislike. I mean, ShedeurSanders, there is no reason to have the dislike and discourse that people have for this young man. If you're not aware, he just gave out a car from the Keeler dealership. It's all over social media. I got a short video post feed on my channel. He just gave out a single mom much needed car. Her engine blew in her car. Her daughters put her name in for the car giveaway. And it was just a beautiful thing to see what Shedeur said. You know, he didn't have to do it, but God placed it in his heart to do it. And in the day of the NFL ESPYs, getting into a lot of my content that I got to do on the ShedeurSanders Chronicles, but I just want to share this before I jump off. When ShedeurSanders, he had so much lashback that he didn't go to the ESPN ESPY Awards. Instead, he chose to go to a low poverty area in Cleveland where an apartment complex had blew up and hosted the whole thing along with sponsorships, and gave his time, and gave the younger generation a lifetime experience that they'll never forget. You know, the Cleveland media always want to, media period, whether it's locally in our own cities, the media always want to promote death, violence, and hardships. They want to promote negatively, you know, misery likes company, you know, that's that old cliche saying. But ShedeurSanders, there's a lot of positive things that doesn't get the press. And I just want to commend this young man and the young men that Mr. DeionSanders has made of his young men that are becoming their own men. But again, thank you for tapping in. Thank you for supporting the channel. I'm going to end this live feed. Hit that thumbs up. Join me when I go live. Hit that notification bell. And I'm the host, Randy Prentice of Premier Sports Talk. Again, on the path of 4,000 subscribers. All I can say is, won't God do it? Started the channel this year, July 24th, sitting at home by myself. It got placed in my spirit to start Premier Sports Talk. And just look at what God can do. God don't tell us how we're going to do it. He just places it in our heart, gives us a thought, and he makes a way when we don't know the way. Y'all have a blessed one. And again, I'm Randy Prentice of Premier Sports Talk. You'll be seeing a live video feed coming out, the ShedeurSanders Chronicles. Y'all have a blessed day and be a blessing to somebody else.